Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Master with the weekly comic book roundup. We've come to this week's X-Men books. Now it's time to move on to this week's Spider-Man books. To kick things off, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 12. Where we left off, Ned Leeds, who was unmasked decades ago as Hobgoblin, though that wasn't entirely the case, and well, other stuff had happened between then and now, including his death and resurrection. But Ned Leeds was investigating Norman Osborn and discovered that apparently Osborn had moved a lot of funds and whatnot into shell companies and whatnot. Basically moved things around and seemed to be transferring funds to or resources to Roderick Kingsley, the actual original Hobgoblin. And Peter confronted Norman about this. Norman explained that Kingsley had got out of prison and, well, wanted his empire back, and so his financial empire, and so, well, Osborn found the legal ways to make that happen, and was doing so. When they met to to do the exchange, however, Hobgoblin attacked. So, after Hobgoblin's attack, paramedics are going through the wreckage of Oscorp warehouse in Red Hook, and they found both Osborn as well as Kingsley. Kingsley's not too happy about things. Peter goes to visit Norman in the hospital, and Osborn, of course, reiterates that he is taking his retirement from villainy seriously. But Peter's not happy with Osborn having lied about that, but when the meeting was supposed to be, but. And Peter goes to talk to Betty Brant about Ned, and Betty confides that sometimes Ned's wearing the Hobgoblin costume. But she tells him where to find Ned, and so Peter goes to talk to him. And but while they're talking, Hobgoblin attacks Peter, leaving Ned unconscious. But apparently Norman's working on a new suit for Peter. Peter unmasks the Hobgoblin as Ned, or as Kingsley. But turns out that Kingsley put Ned Lees back in the Winkler device, which would led to to him being the Hobgoblin in the first place, and so has put him back into it. And now there are two Hobgoblins on the loose, Ned and Roderick. And that is where the issue ends. I'll admit, when I first got in the comics, it was after the initial Hobgoblin story, and I kind of just viewed Hobgoblin as being a Green Goblin, just a Green Goblin knockoff, and this was partially just because of who the Hobgoblin was at the time. But yeah, reading this is, I gotta say, I definitely have not given all the Hobgoblins the credit they deserve. So far, so far I'm really liking this Hobgoblin story. So yeah, moving on to our next book, we've got Iron Cat number 5, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, Tony and Felicia had gone to a Stark facility in New Jersey to deal with Madam Menace, and she revealed she had taken over the Hulkbuster armor. She was also in the midst of beginning nuclear meltdowns at every every former Stark nuclear reactor in the world. However, the armors that went to deal with that went to New Jersey were not manned armors. They were, well, droned armors with Tony and Felicia back at Stark Industries, safe and sound. But Madam Menace has figured this out and has gone after them. Her plan currently is, one, rub Felicia's nose in the fact that Madam Menace killed Tamara Blake, Felicia's ex-girlfriend, and two, kill Felicia in front of Tony. However, Tamara shows up in the Mark I Iron Cat armor, still kicking, explaining that she used an explosion to basically hide her energy signature from Madam Menace. But she gives Tony what it is he needs for their plan. But Felicia finally explains to Tamara why it was she killed Black Fox, explaining that, what his goal had been, but Tamara was a little bummed why she wasn't asked for help as well, and Felicia simply says that Fox always knew she was smart and that he couldn't fool her. But Madam Menace shows up with the Hulkbuster and the unmanned Iron Man and Iron Cat armors, which basically gives Felicia back the Iron Cat armor. And the Iron Cats basically provide a distraction for Tony Stark to take care of what it was that Tamara got for her. What was it? Well, it's the original Sunset Bane AI. And both AIs are get deleted. Tamara manages to escape. And it turns out that Tamara's got the Gavrilov diamond, which she is basically selling to repair the Iron Cat armor. And that is where the issue ends. I really, well, I should say where the series ends. I really like this miniseries, but to be fair, I've liked the entirety of Jed McKay's run on Black Cat. My only complaint is that I wish was more. It wasn't just two 12-issue runs and then various miniseries and one-shots. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Venom number 12. Where we left off, after getting basically stomped by Bedlam, Dylan is recovering, and the symbiote has removed itself from him and is also recovering. However, Dylan's consciousness is within the symbiote, and so but he needs to get back to his body. So he's been kind of going through the symbiote consciousness, the symbiote mind, basically, and now he has to apparently face his father, or at least a memory of his father given form. So he deals with Eddie, and ends up running him through, and Dylan and the memory of Eddie talk. You know, and one of the things that he's told is that sometimes the only answers we get are the answers we figure out for ourselves. But Dylan in the mindscape. Dylan retakes his Venom form, this time with a red emblem rather than a white emblem. At the Life Foundation, Spearhead's people are moving Dylan elsewhere when they're attacked by Sleeper, who manages to take down all of Spearhead's forces and reveals that something else he can do that Spearhead was unaware of is make copies of himself. And Sleeper and Archer leave with Dylan and head to Baywater. Meanwhile, within the symbiote mindscape, Dylan is working to try to figure out if he is hearing a voice asking him questions. And to be fair, it really, I don't know, it feels a lot like Null is the one that's talking to him, but they find the symbiote, and Dylan and the symbiote rebond, only now he's taken on the more black and red form, and seems to have his own version of All Black. And he's no longer calling, it seems he's no longer calling himself Venom, but rather Codex, much as he did in the future. The future in which he went bad, that is. And that is where the issue ends. Things are definitely getting interesting with Venom. But then again, it's been an interesting run so far with both Ram V and Al Ewing sharing the writing duties. So yeah. Moving on to our last one for the moment, we've got Dr. Aphra number 25. Where we left off, Dr. Aphra was the Allspark had managed to take over Dr. Aphra's body. Aphra was within the Allspark trying to find a way to, well, basically turn it off and retake her body. However, Sonostaros had gathered together some people who had been close to Aphra in the past in an effort to try and free Aphra herself. And Just Lucky and Ariel Yu had run into the Aphra-controlled or the Allspark controlled Aphra. But Co gets to contact the archivist. Or, no, it's not Allspark. Spark Eternal. Allspark's a Transformers thing. That's right. But the Spark, when she has the Spark Eternal, and she impersonating the archivist, Aphra tells her to bring it to her Vermilion. We found out that Zed and BT have been bored as hell since Aphra left them on the planet they're on. No one to kill. But so they get to the Vermilion. Co is escorted to the archivist while the rest deal with the remainder of the plan. Within the Spark Eternal, its creator is talking with Miril, leader of the Ascendant, is explaining everything about it to Aphra, as well as showing her a sword which somewhat which, at least to a point, can short-circuit a lightsaber. Or participate. However, the lightsaber blade does still cut through the sword. But she learns that there is no off switch to the Spark Eternal. But Co asks why Aphra, not her, and the Spark Eternal, she figured she'd be easier to bond with, having machinery bound, already being somewhat bonded to machinery. Zed and BT deal with Crimson Guard troops while the rest of the rescue team makes their way to Aphra. But the Spark Eternal has discovered that Co is planning to betray her. As the rescue team shows up. But the rescue team manages to basically take the Spark Eternal possessed Aphra down, so that they can try and remove the Spark Eternal from Aphra. And that is where the issue ends. This has also been shaping to be an interesting story. Event soon where Aphra will be free of the Spark Eternal. That's the upcoming solicits have kind of revealed that one. But anyway, yeah, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.